This is Inside Indiana Business Radio on Demand for the afternoon of November 1st, 2022, brought to you by That's Good HR. I'm Wes Mills. Indianapolis-based Combined Curiosity has announced plans to create more than 300 jobs by the end of 2026 for its growing consumer-centric platform. The company's technology helps connect people with online courses and hobbies, such as learning how to play piano. The company says it will be filling technology and data analytics positions for its expanding learning platform. The Indiana Economic Development Corporation says it has committed up to $3.5 million in incentive-based tax credits and another $100,000 in conditional training grants based on the company's growth plans. A California biotech startup that's developing specialty cancer drugs plans to open a research and development site in Indianapolis and hire 64 people. RayzeBio Incorporated says it will invest $45 million in the building and equipment in the existing warehouse that had been a delivery station for e-commerce giant Amazon. RayzeBio specializes in developing radiopharmaceutical drugs. Executives from Evansville-based Old National Bancorp rang the closing bell today at the NASDAQ Stock Exchange, celebrating what it calls a transformational year. Earlier this year, Old National completed its $6.5 billion merger with Chicago-based First Midwest Bancorp. Old National says this marks the second time the bank's leadership has rung the closing bell and comes in advance of the company's 188th anniversary in November. The 11th Annual Indiana Conference for Women is underway at the JW Marriott in downtown Indianapolis. Organizers say the event supports education and professional development of women. Over the last 10 years, the event has attracted more than 10,000 attendees. Event coordinator Billy Dragu Garcia says the conference is a showcase for the state.
I think it provides some economic development opportunities for, our state. And at the same time, I think our state has a lot to offer the people that come in.
Inside Indiana Business Radio on Demand is brought to you by the following.
With one call to That's Good HR, your hiring challenge is solved. It's that simple. That's Good HR is the secret ingredient to strategic staffing. Have an HR, accounting, administrative, or customer service position to fill? Trust That's Good HR to make a match that's good for everyone, whether temp to hire, or a direct hire placement. For 22 years, That's Good HR has been handpicking employees and employers through a highly personal and authentic approach that delivers long-term results. Visit that'sgoodhr.com. Remember, the match matters.
Get ready, Northeast Indiana. We're headed your way. Join IBJ Media and Inside Indiana Business November 29 at Fort Wayne's Grand Wayne Convention Center for Engage Northeast Indiana. We've assembled the region's top business, community, and philanthropic leaders for a discussion on the issues shaping the future of Northeast Indiana. From attracting top talent to workforce and economic development, we'll explore what's working and big ideas for what's next. RSVP by November 18 at InsideIndianaBusiness.com.
Warsaw-based OrthoPediatrics is reporting third quarter net income of $18.5 million compared to a $2 million net loss for the same period last year. Total revenue for the third quarter of 2022 was $35 million, a 39% increase compared to Q3 in 2021. Also in Warsaw, Zimmer Biomet is the first orthopedic company to use a new mixed reality technology that projects holograms in the operating room. Hip Insight is the first FDA-approved mixed reality navigation system for total hip replacement. Inside Indiana Business reporter Kylie Valletta.
The orthopedic giant recently announced an exclusive agreement with Boston-based Surgical Planning Associates to commercialize Hip Insight, so the system is customized to work only with Zimmer Biomet hip implants. The surgeon wears Microsoft HoloLens glasses during a hip procedure, and using a holograph, a three-dimensional image of that patient's pelvic anatomy is projected onto the surgical field. Zimmer Biomet Chief Science, Technology, and Innovation Officer Dr. Nathan Goyle says it takes the precision of implant placement to the next level.
Implant position is really important in orthopedics. It can guide the patient's ultimate outcome and ultimately reduce the chance of complications. And so now this tool helps surgeons have that ability at their fingertips and place the parts with maximal precision using a technology that's super easy to use.
Goyle believes mixed reality tools are setting a new standard in orthopedic surgery. Zimmer Biomet already has a mixed reality portfolio, so Goyle says it makes sense that it was chosen by the Boston company. Kylie Valletta, Inside Indiana Business Radio.
The latest reading of the Purdue University CME Group Ag Economy Barometer shows growing concern among farmers over rising interest rates. The monthly measurement dropped 10 points in October to a reading of 102, which is a 16% drop compared to the same period a year ago. Of the 400 farmers surveyed, 21% say rising interest rates is their top concern. However, 43% of producers say their biggest concern is about rising input costs and the impacts to their farming operations. Purdue Ag economists say readings of two sub-indices, which measure current conditions and future expectations, also declined last month. This report is brought to you by That's Good HR, the secret ingredient to strategic staffing. Visit that'sgoodhr.com for more information. I'm Wes Mills, Inside Indiana Business, Radio on Demand.